Since the early 1980s, northern Uganda and the Great Lakes region of Africa have been in a state of civil unrest. War has defined the landscape. Civilians have suffered the most, caught between government forces and violent rebels who are known as the Lord's Resistance Army. Led by Joseph Kony, the self-proclaimed spokesperson from God, the Lord's Resistance Army is known for its widespread human rights violations, including murder, abduction, mutilation, sexual enslavement of women and children, and forcing captives to the front line. At the height of the conflict, more than 2 million civilians in northern Uganda were forced into camps for internally displaced people. Now, as security improves, people are rebuilding their lives. Community Action Fund for Women in Africa is a grassroots nonprofit organization investing primarily in women to transform their lives and the life of their communities. Leading this effort for CAFWA is Linda Cole.
I try to reach groups that are far away, that haven't already gotten assistance. Like I work with girl mothers, with grandmothers who are taking care of orphans, with vulnerable children, HIV widows, HIV positive women. And they are at the very, very lowest in society. There's not really much help out there for them.
Soldiers, when did they come here again? I think the last time I was here, there was nothing like soldiers.
Will it be fine if we film here?
Yes.
Yes, even the soldiers, they won't say anything.
That's no problem.
Okay. Foyo, how are you? So I spent the whole first year going around northern Uganda to learn about the situation and to learn about what kind of work we could do that will best benefit these women, or how we could be most effective. This is your boy? Uh-huh. It's okay, you can come. You want to sit with your mama?
Bin, trad bin. Luar ngate. Mwaka piera rio. We are chill. Mwaka piera rio. Piera rio do wachak ene chak.
22 years?
Yes.
22 years.
Our mission within Community Action Fund for Women in Africa is to work with women in conflict or post-conflict areas. A lot of the women that we talk to, they are in groups where many of the women have been abducted, and they've lived in captivity with the Lord's Resistance Army.
Abiru kadono mabe, abiru be ka kwan. Ikar mati akwan pa na o ikla bichiel na ti maka para dek. Chila kwan bi maka. Chako poko wagi cho. Ma an pas ka dun ki kwanya ki mia ki jojep kon. Ma dugu kila tema chiel. Kombetiniti gang kwan wayan pe kan. Ikar madong abiru gi iya ni. Ichao kene benong wek tek. Pieni mu dugu be pek ni ting ingi wagi te ni mu mieri cham kere be.
13 people were killed in this camp. They came in the night, they give pangas. Do you know pangas?
Yes, the machete.
Yes, you know it. They give to the women to kill their husband.
Peti kera laka mo bene. Nian ke nian wi dan to, nian ke nian wi ni dan to. Dok nek mbage ne ko dan ne ko nek lañ. Ke twer ko ñen. Dog te uri ko man ke goy ke to ñu kwer ke goy ke to di kali keñu. Ki wéri ben enu.
Mon mo ken ki berga ngol wa dogi, ci mo ken ki bera ton wa chingi, ki berga leer wa dog.
Other people's hands were cut, even the lips.
At berga berga wow ne.
Houses were burned.
Mon ben ki berga raping gen.
Women were raped.
Anyer mama ga be piaron berga ci o ben wen ki berga ngok a nywaar gi.
Ki dong lier dong mana nen ki waji ni be. bogo be ki chweli ni chere ka ler dog down e ka chuni lenge ron wek ne e ki dia tian ma duong be wan nek be
Many times even killings.
ento patimo a be la ki ja
Neko chwara,
They killed her husband.
neko mama no,
They killed
neko
the
Mickey
mother.
no,
They killed the brothers.
and that dong anadi.
They killed all the brothers. Now she's left with only one sister.
It's sometimes hard hearing all the stories that I hear. I hear and see a lot of suffering. And in a way, I guess I should be used to it now, but I don't think I will ever get used to it. Aid, development aid, it's all so connected. You start in one thing, but to be effective, if you look at water, for example, or health, anything that you start looking at is connected to something else. If you can't earn an income, you don't eat well, you can't pay for health care, you can't pay for school fees. So everything is connected. And for me, I believe that if we were going to have a long-term impact, we needed to create something where the women were able to continue it, whether I was there or not.
To achieve this long-term impact, Community Action Fund for Women in Africa focuses on 4 critical areas. The first is literacy.
How are you? A lot of women came and asked me if we could start doing it, because so many of them can't read and write. And it's something that I'm happy to be able to provide.
In addition to literacy, Community Action Fund for Women in Africa also supports agricultural production. In a society where close to 80% of the population are farmers and rely on agriculture for food and income, this type of support is essential.
A lot of these women, they earned an income through brewing alcohol, sex work, collecting firewood, or few of them would earn money by carrying water to construction sites. Many of their income generating activities were dangerous in one way or another.
Women are faced with a number of challenges. Our culture undermines women, let me say this. They say women are supposed to do everything in a family. So you find that the burden of taking care of the whole family is mostly on the women. It's on the women. So it is the women who are doing everything to sustain the family, almost. For example, the women are involved in digging. Digging is supposed to be men's work, but men do involve women in digging. Women don't stop there. After digging, they have to go and then plant. After planting, they weed. After weeding, they harvest. Harvesting, they process. They prepare it for eating. So all these are women's. They have to take care of the children and to make sure that the children are living in a good condition. That is, they're feeding well.
Chidong ene med kilo tiang ma do dong para chiene ene kere ana nong perra mo chudo gi gang kwan pingane tie ma dong mo kene ma go kare sinia ento yo me chudo gi wek da chudo gi kera dong pere lu me gena rio wen go to go tenya do tiang te chia ma gang en me nen ati ene ma na be dong pe baba na be dong pe ma na to ma ko kare do ma para chia anda dong an mera be me gena be pe la kwana bon ne ko anda ti an ka ngar mai kana konya pere.
In Africa, if you help women, you don't only help this one person, but you help all the people that are dependent on her. So Right now we're working with about 700 women. Each of these women probably have at least 5 or 6 children or other person that are dependent on them.
The third component of support is microfinancing. This is tied to training in basic business skills and record keeping. These loans help women who own small businesses to increase their capacity, their confidence, and ability to make a profit.
I sell chapati. Mandasi. And I have these small things you can see here. And I sell cooking oil.
Cooking oil and different kinds of spices. What are these knives for?
We use it for peeling.
For
this
peeling?
Is the local knife.
Hello. How are you? How are you?
Good morning.
And to you too. Hey. How is business? It's okay. You sell the broom too? This one? It's for sale? How much?
500.
500. Okay. Many of the groups that we work with, they do revolving funds. They save money together. And from this communal fund, the women are able to borrow money to improve their businesses, to pay school fees, to whatever they need the money for. And then they pay it back to the group with a small interest. So looking at this, we decided, okay, why don't we increase the amount of money that these women have so that instead of taking a loan for $5, they can take a loan for maybe $25, $30, $40. And the impact that that has on their lives is tremendous. Suddenly they have access to credit in a way that they'd never had before. And they can increase the profits that they get in their businesses.
I'm selling small fish. 500, 400, 300.
It's a good business? Good. So how did you start this business?
I started when I joined the group.
You are in the group of child mothers? Why? Can you tell me about your business?
Mi enini akoy ki mon magi mer ma ma ci meti tian mi katu pa ki ciane ali ba ci le mi bit an eni baki eni akoya a char ci linga liba biero ti one ka chara rio kumbiri wala alternative boarding meri.
CAFWA is working with women to conserve and build their natural resources. One important component of this is tree planting.
We are very happy that CAFWA, when we wrote our proposal to CAFWA, CAFWA came in, was able to help us, especially with indigenous plan. You know, with this indigenous plan, we are trying to help the communities, the women who are in Guad, at grassroots level, plant these trees in their homes.
We are only waiting for the rain so that we distribute it to the women.
Oh, you got oranges.
We have oranges. This muchungwa in the local language, it's also ready for transplanting.
All of the groups that I work with, they've been together for at least a year. The groups they're financial in one way. They will do farming together, they will do income generating activities together, but they're also support groups because they are able to talk to each other and get support, and they're with somebody who had similar experiences and will understand when they talk about their problems. I get a lot out of this. I'm seeing that the work that I do actually makes a difference. These women's lives are better because of the work that CAFWA is doing. And that's a pretty nice thing. It's pretty satisfying.
Well, kumberi monti mater. Yang in may bir ka ni no wan be po mielo. Kumberi no mon nong tika miel.
Your